Hello, welcome to Talking About Speedway. My name's Graeme Sinden. Our special guest today is James Inglis, a very talented sprint car driver and one that we've been wanting to get on the program for some time, and we're delighted that he could join us today. Welcome to the program, James.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
James, Saturday, November the 15th, the King of Wings event, one that you know and have won previously, 22-23. You were the champion, in fact. And I want to just pull that up now because there you are on screen being crowned the king. Frank Scarterfield there on picture. It looks like Dane Kingshot, I think, came third, and I suspect that's Callum. I'm not sure who was second and third on that particular year. But you've been there and done it, and it's a tricky event for any driver, particularly when Frank Scarterfield puts on this $5,000 bonus if the same driver can win the first half of the race and then the second half. Let's just go and have another look at this. So this $5,000 bonus prize money if the driver leading the race at the compulsory pit stop can go on to win the race after 40 laps. It sounds pretty easy on the face of it, but it turns it into a technical event, doesn't it? Because you've got to get yourself into a position through your qualifying and through your heats and dashes and whatever to get yourself off the front or close to the front. Then you've got to make sure you're in front at the what would we call the halfway mark, and that's not necessarily 20 laps, so you can't just say I'm going to go for 20 laps because it could be 18, it could be 25, and you've got to keep your tyres underneath you.
Yeah, it's a tricky one for sure. It's a one-of-a-kind, unique race that Frank puts on throughout the season. So it's honestly my favourite. It's 40 tough laps. We're going to have a lot of good drivers there this weekend with the likes of McFadden and Carey and Newton heading over our way. So,
yes, indeed.
It's a really tricky one because previous years they've pulled up the halfway pit stop, when it sort of suits the race, and it could be anywhere between 12 to 20 laps. So to get your $5,000 bonus on top of that, I think you've got to... my strategy would be to try to lead every lap, but that's easier said than done.
Of course, to set all that up early in the night, you've got to be quick in your group, you've got to get good results in the dash and so on, and get yourself up at least probably 1, 2 or 3 rows, I would have thought, wouldn't it?
Yeah, with the talent throughout the field these days, you've really got to be starting up those up the pointy end, the first 3 or 4 rows, especially this weekend with the drivers coming over. So it's really from hot laps all the way through the checkered flag. You've got to have a faultless night, and everything's got to go your way.
Now, when you say, you try and get to the front and go flat out, you still got to keep your tyres underneath you for the second half of the race, and that could be, if the first half is 18, it could be another 22 laps you've got to do on the same tyres to get to the end.
Yeah, that's right. It's, it's previous years, the track does go away a lot over the 40 laps, and if it is a tyre burner, which it hasn't been too bad, the Motorplex has been pretty good in that aspect, but if it does start to wear your tyres, you've really got to start thinking about how much you use that right foot and and try and keep the rubber underneath you for, to make it to the end.
Now, if you weren't successful as you were in 22-23 to lead the first half of the race, for you, the $5,000 bonus is gone, hasn't it? It's available to whoever won. So then the next part of the equation for you, if you weren't successful in the first half, is to actually win the feature race and get points for the Maddington Toyota series.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously the $5,000 is a massive help that Frank puts up, and massive credit to him for putting up the extra dollars, because that helps us race teams immensely. But obviously there's a bigger picture also to look at, and the series is only, just getting going. So there's a lot of drivers out there that want to win, Frank's bonus prize, but they're also looking at the championship, which is a big deal as well.
Oh, indeed. Well, I think the prize money for the Toyota Championship at the end of the season is lifted to $28,000 this year. But there's lots of nice prize money along the road as well. So that's the long game, but this is here and now. next Saturday, and you, as you said, you'll be going for it to try and pick up an additional 5. But Scarterfield Smash Repairs, and Frank in particular, being the boss of the outfit, he's a great supporter of, well, not only yours but Speedway in general, isn't he?
Yeah, he's unreal bloke in general. He helps so many teams out, so many drivers out, so many people to do with the sport. You see his name, over that many teams' cars, and he's just one of those guys that doesn't really have his favourites. He helps everyone, and it's pretty special to have people like Frank in the sport.
Mm. Now, James, as we can see on the screen at the present time, your gear is absolutely impeccable. You've gone back to your family LJS team now. The transporter looks fantastic. Your car is brilliant on the track. It's really, really sharp. You've gone back to the number 5. Tell us the background of that.
Yeah, so that was pretty special to be able to get the number 5. Pretty much throughout my go-karting career, I had the number 5, and it brought me a lot of success and a lot of good times in go-karts. So when it sort of come up for grabs, we jumped on it and we're lucky enough to get it, and hopefully it brings us as much success in the sprint car.
Indeed. Let's just go now and have a look at the transporter on the side view and then the back view. You've got some talented people around you to put that on the tailgate there on the ramp.
Yeah, that's sort of, it sort of come out of surprise that one of my dad's good friends, Jamie Downs, said we should paint something on the transporter, and we were sort of just joking about it, and he brought it to life, as you can see, and he spent 4 or 5 solid days with a paintbrush and just done it all by hand. So yeah, very talented guy, obviously an artist, and owned a Broome Gallery, and which he sold now, but does some awesome work, which is I was more than stoked with how it come up, and incorporated the Maddington Toyota series in it, and Wilson Brewing, a few cans there. So no, it's
and the mechanic's crack.
Yeah, that's the truck driver. But I think everyone that's seen it can tell exactly who we are, and the detail was pretty cool.
Mm. Now, you just mentioned number 5 is the number you used in your karting days. That's dirt track karting. Tell us a little bit about that, because you've been not just good, you've been brilliant at it over the years, and I understand you're now the Devil Race Karts West Australian distributor. Yeah,
I've I've been meaning to give something back to Darren, one of my big sponsors throughout my Sprintcar career, and obviously with the Diamond Bay deal, they were helped them immensely, and so I wanted to give some back to Darren and Devil Race Karts, and thought I'd try and sell a few go-karts in WA for them. So see how I go. I don't know how I'll go, but hopefully a few guys jump on board and buy some Devil Race Karts and support us. And he helps so many teams out as well, whether it's in SA or WA, anywhere all over Australia. You'll see them supporting a lot of teams as well.
Right. And there on the car on the screen now, your car number 5 emblazoned on it, and proudly supporting the Devil Race Karts on the sideboard there.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to get some really good sponsors come on board this season, and that's allowed me to get the trailer and transporter wrapped and stuff like that. So I was stoked with how the car design came up, and just stoked with how many people sort of want to support and get on board with with the likes of the Motorplex, driving the Channel 7 and them coming on board, and it just helps us teams get sponsors, which helps us get around.
Well, we'll take a short break and we'll be back right after this.
At Maddington Toyota, we're all about great deals, value, quality and service. Head to our website for quality new, demo and pre-owned vehicles with videos so you can find your perfect car. We can organise the details by phone and email and deliver the car right to you. Check out the entire Toyota range, plus a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, all backed by our real commitment to great service. Maddington Toyota, great deals and great service. Oh, what a feeling.
Now, going back to your go-kart, I mean, there's lots of speedway guys, talented speedway guys in go-karting, isn't it? And, I mean, not just sprint cars, but late models and other things. Even some of the solo boys get out and play around, the sidecar boys. So karting, is it good for your reflexes and your judgment and those sort of things for your sprint car racing career?
I really believe so. I think that it teaches you good racecraft. You know, the dirt karting, when they bring the water truck out, the track gets pretty slippery. So I think it helps with your throttle control, and especially, you know, jumping into the sprint car where you've got 900 plus horsepower, you've really got to, you know, use that throttle to your advantage. So yeah, there's lots of good talent coming through. Just racing the dirt kart W8 titles just on the weekend, the amount of young talent coming through, and if they can get that, you know, financial backing, the speedway scene's going to be looking pretty strong in the future.
Now, I think you finished third on the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, yep. Third, yeah, not. That's all right. We'll take it what we can.
Nothing wrong with the third place here, isn't there?
It just shows you how tough it is these days.
In every form of motorsport, isn't it? I mean, take you guys on sprint cars. Any one night, 10, 12, maybe even 15 competitors could win a feature race, couldn't they? You get the right start and it all goes your way and you don't have any problems. It's very difficult to choose winners.
Oh, 100%. The field, I think we were talking the other day, is so talented these days. There's no slouches out there anymore. There's you know, your 10, 15 guys that could win any night if everything lined up. So obviously you got your couple of top guys at the minute who are driving it extremely well and hard to catch, but in saying that, they only have to have one slip up and there's another 20 guys pouncing for the podium.
Well and truly. Now, again, we talk about the Maddington Toyota Sprint Car Series, the richest series in Australia, bar none, and it's been brilliant for Western Australian sprint car racing. Well, Australian sprint car racing, because it's encouraged East Coasters to come over here and race in some of our events and so on. But you've actually been there and done it as well. You're a former Maddington Toyota Sprint Car champion, I think 22, 23, if I'm correct. And then you backed it up the following year as a runner-up. So it's difficult to win those things, isn't it? You've got to be on the game and be consistent almost every week.
Yeah, extremely difficult. Every single season's getting tougher and tougher, and you've got to, you just can't have DNFs now. Like a few years back, you could probably have a few bad runs and still be up at the pointy end, but now everyone's getting so consistent. You've really got to finish up the pointy end. So. It's awesome. Credit to all the drivers and teams and everyone that's got involved in putting this awesome series together. That's why we're getting so many people travel to WA, because they see how cool our series is and yeah, obviously one of the best tracks to go with it.
Well, when you see some of these people like Sean Caron from Gold Star, Luch Monty, all those sort of teams bringing top drivers over to race here, it's a real credit to the WA sprint car scene, I think, and those team owners wanting to be part of it.
Yeah, for sure, and it makes us local guys' job a lot harder, but that's how we get better, I guess. We've got to race against the best. During the December period when High Limit starts, we're going to have 10 plus Americans coming over and probably some of the best in the world. So, it's as long as we can try and mix it with them, and if we can rub wheels with them, you're up there doing something right.
Now, talking about High Limit International at the Perth Motorplex, that'll be after Boxing Day on the 28th, 29th and 30th. And as you say, we'll have some, if not the best, sprint car drivers in the world racing here. Rico Abreu has just won the High Limit Kabuto series over there. He's the current 25 champion, and he displaced Brad Sweet, of course, who was the champion for about 5 or 6 years prior to that. So 2 drivers just there, as good as any you're going to get in the world, and then you throw Kyle Larson and other Americans and East Coasters into the field. You're racing against the best of the best, aren't you?
Yeah, and absolutely, that's what they do for a living, and that's what their job is. So you expect them to be obviously really good, but they come, they're only human at the end of the day. They're beatable, so that's how you've got to sort of think about it. And they've you try not to think that they've just come off 80 or 100 shows, but at the end of the day, everyone's got your four wheels and a steering wheel, and they're beatable.
Well, you're true, but I just looked at some stats just the other day when we were recording. I think there's, in the high limit series only, there's 66 events over 21 states, so they travel a lot of miles. But when you look at the Motorplex season, it's probably, 23 seasons, 23 meetings in a season for you guys?
Yeah, roughly.
So in 1 year, they're doing 2 times more events than the WA guys, and of course that's twice as much, 3 times as much experience. So it is a big ask to race against these guys that do it professionally, but they are beatable, and Callum Williamson showed just that. James McFadden, although he's an Australian international, he took it up to last in the first 2 lead-up events to the 100,000 to win race, so it is possible.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that one of us, Aussies can take out the 100,000, and even better if it'll be a WA guy, that'll be pretty special. But Callum and Dane, I feel like they're at their prime at the minute. They're driving exceptionally well. I know they're definitely going to be up the pointy end, giving it their best crack, and I think we're starting to find our straps again, which is pretty cool, and hopefully, we can get through the King of Wings really strong, and then the state title, and then before we know it, High Limit's going to be on us.
Indeed. Now tell me a little bit about yourself now. When you're out there, not just with our own talented local guys, but when some of these East Coasters and the Americans come across here and you're rolling around on warm-up and you're rolling alongside of Rico or Kyle Larson, does it do anything to you, or is it just another competitor on the track?
Oh, I think definitely when you're rolling up beside Kyle Larson, you probably heart rate goes up a little bit more, but you do also get a little bit more comfortable because they're going to be they're going to race hard, but they're going to be pretty respectful, and they'll rub wheels, but they won't necessarily be out of control or put you into the fence. So you do know when you pull up beside them that it's going to be tough to beat them, but that's unfortunately the game that we're in.
And just for viewers, James, can you tell us what goes through your mind when you've gone through all the prelim stuff, the hot laps and dashes and all those sort of things? You're in the feature race and you're off the front row or close to it, and you think you've got a crack at winning the thing. You're pushed off. What goes through your mind from there on?
I guess just studying the track so you get pushed off, and making sure your receiver works is probably one of my first things. Makes you a bit more relaxed as soon as you can hear the stewards talking to you, so that's working, and then you're just sort of studying the track, rolling around. It takes a few laps for everyone to get started, and then obviously you roll into the 4 wide, and that's when it starts becoming real, I guess. The fireworks are going off on the John Day cars, and you're starting to get a fair bit of methanol and that come into your helmet, so your eyes start watering a little bit. But and then before you know it, it's back to 2 wide, and we're into the 30 lap, 40 lap feature. So the first few laps, you're just hoping, not to get caught up in any accidents. Obviously, there's always 1 or 2 that happen at the start of the features, and you just hope to get through the first few laps cleanly, and then just start, putting your head down and try and hit your strides, because there's going to be a few restarts. There's going to be the race actually gets drawn out a fairly long time, so you've just got to keep your head in the game and stay focused, and hopefully you've got a good car by the end of it.
Yeah. Well, James, it must be a great thrill for you to be competing again in the King of Wings, the Scarterfield Smash Repairs King of Wings on the weekend. We wish you well for that and for the rest of the season. Love what you've done with your car and the outfit. It seems to Con and I, anyhow, that you've certainly got your mojo back and you're getting stuck into it. You're driving beautiful lines and fast, so best wishes for the rest of the season.
Oh, thanks very much for having me.
Well, there we are. James Inglis there, a very talented sprint car driver and a nice guy to boot. That's the program for today. We look forward to your company this time next week. Bye for now.